You're fine.
Tov, everyone. The Torah describes for us in this week's parsha the incident at Marah. Vayavo Marasa. They came to Marah, which, by the way, today there are many that identify it with the area of the Bitter Lakes, which is at the top end of the Nile before it flows into the Mediterranean. And today it's the Bitter Lakes because there are bodies of water there, but that the water is so mineralized, like the Dead Sea, that it's not potable, it's not drinkable. Anyway, they come to Marah. The people were unable to drink water there at Marah, because the water was so bitter. So here you have Marah a number of times in the same pasuk, in order to emphasize to us how bitter it was. There's the frustration of being in the desert and not having water is increased if you have water, but the water can't be consumed. But the famous poem, water, water everywhere and not a drop to drink. So it says that Vayilonu kol ha'am al Moshe. So they all came to Moshe and they complained, Manishta, what are we going to drink here? Vayitzak el Hashem, Moshe prays to God. Vayoreu Hashem eitz, and the Lord instructs him to see this piece of wood, this tree, branch, to throw it into the waters. And then the water became drinkable, potable. All the people drank from it. And then it says, Vishom som lo choku mishpat, vishom nisahu. There was it established for the Jewish people. Heaven provided for them choku mishpat, laws, justice. There they were tested. So how do we piece these different ideas together into the whole of the story? The Jewish people, when they leave Egypt, they leave on the level of miracles. They realize that that's the only way they got out of Egypt, was because of the plagues. And if they had any doubts about it, then Kriyas Yamsuf was the one event that showed them that they are, so to speak, living beyond their means. It's a miraculous existence here in the desert. Well, if it's a miraculous existence, so then they expect that they're entitled that the miracles should continue, as they do. They're going to have the mon, we're going to have it in this week's parsha as well. Going to have 40 years of the mon. They're going to have Be'ero Shel Miriam, the miraculous well of water, the schus of Miriam Anavia that accompanies them throughout the desert. How can you have a well that's based upon groundwater that travels with you? And all sorts of nisim. They have the Amud Eish, Lahoyer Lohem, pillar of fire that lights their night. It's a remarkable, miraculous existence. When people have a miraculous existence, as I've mentioned to you many times, the Meforshim point out, the miracles become ordinary, become accepted, they become natural. And therefore they lose their miraculous quality. We have miracles every day, but we don't feel the miracle because it happens every day. And even great miracles, unexpected events, after a period of time, people are able to adjust to it, to rationalize them. They make them lose their miraculous quality. So the Rabbanu Shalom wants to teach us, so to speak, that the basis of our faith is consistent behavior. It's observance of norms. It's chok mishpat. That's how we will get through all of this. Because miracles come and go. Sometimes they have a lasting effect and sometimes they don't. We read throughout Tanakh of great miracles, but there were no lasting effect. Eliyahu Hanavi at Har HaKarmel is able to bring down miraculously water from heaven. He's able to bring down fire. The people respond immediately. Hashem Elokim. Yeah, wait. Tomorrow they're back worshiping idols. Because miracles always have only a limited effect. And that's certainly true from generation to generation. Maybe the generation that witnessed the miracle still is affected by it. But their children and grandchildren don't know what you're talking about. We have so many examples in our own lifetime that we can attest to that fact. So therefore, Shom Som Lo Choku Mishpat Shom Nisohu. The Rabbanu Shalom established for us that our survival will be by observing Choku Mishpat. Rashi says, Miktsas mitzvos. He gave them some mitzvahs to do. Shabbos, Kibbut Aveim. Rashi says, Pora Aduma. There's a dispute in the Meforshim whether or not that's the correct text. But there he gave them laws. This is what you'll do every day, every week. This is what I want you to behave. So that norm of behavior, that will carry you through. That will have a greater effect upon you than any mitzvah. That's the whole idea of Shabbat, that more than the Jewish people observe the Shabbat, preserve the Shabbat preserve the Jewish people. It's the regularity of it, the consistency of it, that develops a lifestyle and a value system that enables us to continue. But if we rely purely on miracles, so then eventually that wanes. We see that in the Torah, that the Jewish people lived in the desert miraculously, but the purpose was to bring them into Eretz Yisrael, and there they would not live miraculously. They would have to till the land, they'd have to fertilize the soil, they'd have to pick the fruit. It'd have to be, so to speak, normal. They would not have food that rains down from heaven every day on them. So what do you do then? If you're relying on miracles, then what do you do then? So therefore, he gave them Chok Mishpat. Chazal say on the, we read it, Rotza Kodesh Baruch Hu, L'sakos is Israel. So the word L'sakos has many meanings. It can mean cleanse, purify. It also means that the Jewish people should acquire something. So he gave them a big Torah with a lot of mitzvahs. Wherever you turn in life, there's a mitzvah to do. There's a consistent act of behavior to follow. And that is the greatness of regular life, so to speak, is that by observance of the Torah and mitzvahs, by Chok Mishpat, it transcends even the power of miracles. And that's what it means, Rishon Nisohu. And there is the test. The test is in everyday life, not in the miracle. In the miracle, everybody will declare Hashem Hu Elokim. But on a plain Tuesday on the street, in the marketplace, how does one feel God there? So therefore, the Torah gave us Torah mitzvos, Chok Mishpat, so that we would be able to rise to all challenges and survive all obstacles and become the Gam HaNivchar. Rabbi Chananya ben Akashi Omer, Rotza HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'zakos Yisrael, V'ficha Chibur Lahem Torah mitzvos shenemer, Adonai Chavei Siman Tzidko Yagdil Torah v'Yadir. Amen.